So three things to say about this is that firstly, Lucy did not state that she was wearing pyjamas to elicit sympathy. By far the most important part of this story was that she was woken up at 6 a.m. handcuffed, arrested and accused of multiple murders, none of which is contested. Secondly, it's highly debatable whether what she said was inaccurate anyway, but it's certainly not a deliberate untruth. Thirdly, this line of inquiry clearly has no merit anyway. The prosecution is simply using underhand tactics to brand Lucy as a liar. So we see the reporting of the time. Nurse Lucy Letby has deliberately misled the jury on a number of occasions throughout her murder trial, a prosecutor has told the court. On the final day of cross-examination, prosecutor Nick Johnson KC said Miss Letby was a very calculating woman who had lied to try and get sympathy. Now, for them to accuse her of deliberately misleading the jury when the prosecution has, on several occasions, literally fabricated evidence and engaged in supposition which it cannot provide any evidence for and for which there is no support on countless occasions, it's pretty rich of them to accuse Lucy herself of deliberately misleading the jury. Large swathes of the prosecution cases we've just seen with regard to the swipe card data is, I would say, deliberately misleading. So there's a reason they're doing this in court. There's a reason they dragged out so many eyewitnesses. It's always to try and firstly make it into an emotional case with the eyewitnesses, and then secondly to discredit the witness and to put the germ of an idea in the minds of jurors that she's unreliable, that she's lying, when the vast majority of what she said during her account is undeniably true. They pick one small detail to try to muck around with it in order to suggest that she's lying, which she wasn't lying because she wore a dressing gown outside of the clothes that she slept in. Whether or not it's reasonable to describe them as pajamas or a leisure suit, it's just, I mean, at best it's semantics. That's being generous to describe it as semantics. So that's a fifth incident really of the prosecution engaging in a ridiculous, from any kind of objective measure, a ridiculous line of questioning and a ridiculous series of assertions that, in my estimation, is just a complete fabrication.